Chapter 9, Old Debts.
As pretty much any vampire of the ripe old age of 200 or so, Theraint had many interesting stories. However, few more interesting than the time he had met a werewolf in Zion National Park. That magnificent creature had saved his life that night many times over. When Theraint had decided to move to Utah to look over Taylor, he had landed in California. He had rented a sports car and drove to Las Vegas. He had made some waves, and Jean-Pierre had had him followed when he left in the morning. He wanted to see Zion because he had read a book about it. He camped out, and in the middle of the night they came out of the dark to end him. He fought well, but soon it was apparent he would not be the winner of the fight. There were too many for him to gain the upper hand. However, they were not the only creatures lurking in the dark. As the situation looked its most dire, the main vampire attacking Theraint was sent flying, and soon all the others were lying around the clearing. Theraint had given the giant wolf his number, a number that he had transferred to many phones over the years. He never really expected the wolf to call him. However, not only had the call come, but at the best time. The wolf had cut through the vampires like they were nothing. He would be a powerful ally to have in the upcoming battle. Theraint turned off the main road and he started for Zion National Park. He picked up his cell phone and called Austin. "Hello?" Austin asked. "Austin, this is Theraint. Were you able to get the people I asked about?" Theraint asked. "Yeah, they're here safe and sound. You were right. I told them our story and they were not at all surprised." "They had a pretty interesting story, too," Austin said. "Are you going to bring him to the battle?" "Yes, I will attempt it, but don't tell anyone, just in case he refuses," Theraint replied, hoping not to provide any false hope. "You got it. They are here and comfortable, and we're loading up to leave for the Salt Flats now." "I will see you there," Theraint replied and hung up the phone. He drove the SUV to the gate. The riots had the humans scared because he drove right in and no one was in sight. He drove the SUV into Zion Canyon and immediately he saw movements in the trees. He pulled off the side of the road and almost instantly the werewolf emerged from the trees. "Hello, Theraint," the wolf grumbled. He awkwardly got into the SUV and they started back out to the main highway. "My family?" the wolf asked. "They are taken care of. They are in LA at our base of operations. It is the safest place I can offer," Theraint said. "Thank you, Theraint. Taos," he said. Theraint looked up from his driving confused. "My name is Taos," he replied. "Oh, well, it is a great pleasure to meet you, Taos," Theraint replied. "So, can you tell me what is happening?" Taos inquired. Theraint told the story from the beginning. Taos sat quietly listening and watching the land go by. It was 2 hours later when he had heard the last of the story. "So we must fight the young vampires," Taos observed. "Well, I must. I only hope you will join us, but I would never assume. As soon as I arrive at the Salt Flats, you can take this truck and go to your family in LA. "You have no obligation in this war," Theraint offered. "Ha! You don't know me very well, vampire, and it sounds as if this war is not won. My family will not have much of a world to live in," Taos sneered. "Both good points. You will fight alongside us?" Theraint asked, sounding a bit more desperate than he wanted. Taos gave a large, fangy smile. "I will fight by your side. If we win, though, I have more favors to ask of you," Taos replied. "Taos, if we make it through this, I will stand at your side for anything you need," Theraint said, dead seriously. Taos smiled. "I always wondered what it would be like to ride in one of these cars." They started to speak of Taos's life in the canyon and how he had wound up there. They spoke of what Taos needed help with, and Theraint realized that even if they were to win the vampire war, his adventures were far from over. He smiled to himself. "At least it's something to look forward to," he thought to himself.